recording. Yo, what up guys, Axe of Diamond here today. This is, well, honestly, I don't know. This is a Planet Coaster video, the first one on my channel, probably going to be a lot more, seeing as you already know from the title, and I already know because I already have the name of the title written down as this project's name. This video is part one of a series where we are going to be building a park in Planet Coaster. Now, I'm doing the audio after my voice, of course, after the fact, because, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. This took me about an hour and a half to build. Now, I go through like four different variants for the spawn, and you can see the first one here, which, I don't know, I'm gonna let you guys tell me down in the comments below if you think that I made good decisions or bad decisions, because I have a feeling you're gonna do that anyway, so why don't I ask you? But yeah, you can just see my very, very good building skills in the game here, obviously. But yes, by the end of this video, we do have something that looks actually quite decent. If I'm correct, I hope at least. It looks better than what we have right now. But honestly, we did go through quite a few versions. Now, on to something else. After this, now I'm going to be recording about 3 videos today. So this is the first one of 3, so this is going to be the one where I sound the most sane, you could say? Well, considering the way that I usually am, I guess I would sound more sane. Anyway, now, as you can see here, I'm just having a few problems with the information booth, so I decided to just turn them around and put them the other way. Until I realize that that won't work, and that'll come a little bit ahead from now. Well, actually, it would have worked if I didn't do something that I'm about to do in a little bit. I actually don't remember what order anything happens in. I just know that I sped the recording up a lot. This is like 250 times the speed of what it originally was when I originally started recording it, because it was about an hour and a half long, and as most of you will know, I only like to do 30-minute videos. Now, I did, unfortunately, just decide just forget it and set myself to offline on Steam, because, well, I don't like getting messages while I'm recording, most of the time because I'm listening, when I'm recording time lapses like this, honestly, most of the time because I'm listening to very loud music, so that I don't go insane while I'm just building or doing whatever I am in the time lapse. But anyway, ooh, that actually looked pretty good. Anyway, I'm gonna have to look into that afterwards. But yes, by the end of this video, we do have something that looks quite good, as you probably saw from the picture. At the start of this video, I'm probably gonna have to reload the entire, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to reload the entire, save file. Oh well, anyway. But yes, as you can see, I'm just doodling with different designs and getting quite stumped with different things. Like the entrance design. Literally, this entire video is just me bumbling around trying to build the entrance. Don't worry, by the end of the video, I actually do have the entrance done. And by the time next video starts, we will be working on the Main Street area of the park. And I already have like a small idea for this. Sadly, that part of that video actually completely failed. This is actually the second time I'm recording it. Well, first time I'm doing the voicing over, but second time I'm recording it. Just go with it. Anyway, also, one quick thing. I could not find the middle piece for those two like half arches. And I was not going to have an off-center arch, so I just decided to not go with that very quickly and just went with the normal arch and just put 3 of them in. And this is where the first bad design came in any moment now. Because, yeah, you'll see when it gets there. Anyway, I do want to say one thing. This series is going to be very subscriber based. So if you guys have any ideas or something that you want me to put in, like a certain design for a coaster or something like that, like basically like make an indoor coaster or make an outdoor, or just like make a coaster that looks kind of like that, like this type of a coaster, like wooden, metal, like anything like that, or like ideas for the park, or just suggestions on how to make the park not look like it was built by someone that has no clue how to play this game, like me, please do tell me, and I will be happy to look into trying to fix those, because I honestly want this park to look good. But yeah, as you can see, I already made one mistake that I cannot undo as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, until I just realized I could have just hit the undo button. Yep. Could have just hit the undo button and removed those two park entrances and replaced them. Oh well. Still, I think what we came out with actually looks a lot better than what we have here, but this is the first iteration of the entrance. I actually really don't like it. But anyway, the name of the park is going to be up to you guys. Now, just so that Planet Coaster would stop telling me you have to name the park, I just named it Planet Park. But I can go back in and change the name, of course. Just, it'll always have the name in the bottom left corner saying Planet Park, but of course that can just be glossed over. But I will let you guys name the park. I went through quite a lot of different name ideas, like Seeding Park or Seed Park. I kind of just thought those ones didn't really look that good, sound that good, so I just decided to not go with them. But yes, I will probably be adding music into the background of this, because right now I'm literally listening to nothing. I'm just talking to myself in a room. Yeah. Anyway, I honestly don't know what else to say. But yeah, you can see me right here just fiddling with the paths and realizing that I have no clue what I'm doing. And I'm realizing that very quickly, and also that I actually kind of like the look of that. Now, if I had just removed that center entrance and gone with that, I might have been able to build off of that. But anyway, I was kind of trying to go with a lot of different designs, but yeah, I think this is actually, this is the one that I go with. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is the entrance design that I go with. And I don't know if you can see my mouse, actually, so I'm just going to move that off of the screen of the video. That might be annoying a few people. Anyway, basically, this video took me a long time to make, and I really just, and at this point, I'm also at this point, I'm just trying to figure out what the heck to use. And I go through a lot of different variants, and I finally settled on trying to make the entrance area look kind of like, if any of you ever have been to Disneyland or even Disney, like Magic Kingdom or Disneyland out in California, I'll find a picture of one of them and put them up on the screen, I guess. I'll hunt down a picture, and I'll just put it up right now. But you can see how you walk into the park underneath a train station, and I kind of wanted to go with this and actually use the train that this game has in it, but then I realized that the train station, for one, is a lot shorter than what I've built here, and two, is a lot wider than one tile wide, so I just decided not to go with that decision, so I just went with this. So at this point, I'm just designing a little building, a little outshoot of the building over here, which, you'll see in a minute when I'm putting it, actually, no, I'll just say it. I basically just put an information stand and a bathroom in there. That's literally all that goes into that, wow. That's basically all that goes into that little room. And again, you can see me trying to figure out how the heck to use the path tools, because I have no clue. So I just decided to let the path tool win, and design it like that. But anyway, I get back into designing the building, and continue on, just making a little squared off area there, because I decided to just square that off, nothing would really fit in there anyway. And then I just decided to do the exact same thing on the other side, which, I don't know, I might actually remove that one side's thing. I'm going to leave that up to you guys down in the comments. Should I just remove the little building outshoot on the right, or just leave it? I honestly don't know. It actually might help the look of the entrance, or it might completely ruin it. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. But I'm just looking at the entrance from different angles, realizing that it actually was growing on me the more I built onto it. So at this point, I was actually just thinking, like, okay, now to go along with the idea that I had in my head, where after the first row it would change and to a different material, like brick, and, well, honestly, none of the bricks really looked that good, and especially the modern brick, it was way too pink. I actually don't think you can change the color, but if you can, please let me know, because I might have to look into the design of this again. Now, if you guys want, if somehow this design actually looks good, and you guys think it looks good, I will I may put it up onto the Steam Workshop. Probably not, because as far as I'm concerned, this thing really does not look that good. I don't know, though. It's up to you, because YouTube comments never agree. But here I'm just, like, deciding to put battlements along the top of this, because I had no clue what else to put. So I just put, like, castle battlement things along the top. And I just continue building, because it's basically... Going through my mind at this point was, if I keep building along and make it look kind of like I have an idea, I might actually get an idea that'll work. That's basically what my mindset around this point was. So I'm just adding in, like, little roof tiles, so that at least when you're flying over it, it doesn't look like there are giant gaps in the roof. Which I thought was quite nice. And then at this point here, I actually realized that the roof tiles were sticking through. But I just decided to leave it, because you're not really going to see that. So I just decided no one's going to notice. Except for the fact that I told you. So, yeah. And also the fact that you can probably notice it anyway. I honestly don't know what to say. Just, at this point I was just, like, trying to figure out, like, how am I going to make this look good? What should I design it to look like? And I just start experimenting with that other type of path, and in the end I actually decided to go with it, because, I don't know, I actually kind of sort of like it, as I remove it all. But I was just trying to, like, widen it so it would look a little bit more park entrance-y, because, of course, park entrances are not narrow twigs of a path. And this is where I realized that terrain in this game can be a pain, because I'm trying to find the flatten tool, and I go past it a few times, and then that happened. I don't know why the terrain stayed sticking up there, even though I used the flatten tool right over it. And then I fail miserably at actually flattening terrain. So, yeah, in honest terms, I have no clue how to use the terrain tool in this game. I can build some decent-looking roller coasters, do some decent-ish looking buildings, but when it comes to doing anything with terrain, no. Just no. And then again, I fail at pathway laying, because I fail at pathway laying. And I just continue placing the pathway down, but I actually just decided to raise it up to like 20 feet wide instead of the 17 that it was outside of the park, just because I don't know, I kind of like the look of that. But then I realized that 20 is really not going to work for the door over there, so I just lowered it back down to 13, and I go through many different ideas on how to connect it, all of them really not looking that good. That one probably being, honestly, one of the worst looking of them all. But also I want you guys to tell me, do you like the trident shape? Now that I look at it, it actually looks like a trident. Or a fork. Well, when you think about it, a trident is basically just a very big fork, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, And at this point, I was actually thinking maybe I could just like run a cool little roller coaster over there, kind of like how Cedar Point. If any of you have ever, I'll just look up another picture of Cedar Point. I just look up a picture of Cedar Point and have it on the screen right now. Anyway, if you noticed from the picture, if I even could be bothered to get it, which I'm pretty sure I did, but I don't know at this point because I'm still in editing process. But still. You can see how it actually has a roller coaster going over the entrance. I actually kind of like that, and I may go with it in the next episode. We may build a coaster. We may not. We may just build. Anyway. We may just build the main street. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and this is also the first time that I've seen the area where the people in the game spawn, and I'm just like walking around at the height of a person, trying to see like if the entrance really does look good, and it actually kind of does. And then here I come placing in the restrooms, trying to find the restrooms after I look at their symbol twice, and then again for information. Wow. Sorry. I definitely do know what I'm doing. I just sometimes forget entirely what I'm doing. That makes no sense. Anyway, at this point I was thinking, okay, now I need to put a roof on. But there are actually no roofs that actually look good with these castle walls. Well, at least really good. So I just kind of kept changing the design over and over again. Well, twice. But I finally just settled on the pink looking roof. Oh gosh. I finally just settled on the pink, very high pitched roof because it was the only one I could really find that even looks remotely good. And that even kind of remotely even fit the look of the castle. And also at this point I realized that I had built the walls on the wrong side of the tile, so I had to completely select all of those walls and move them in. Me not knowing that I could select an entire number of walls at the time, did it one at a time, or at least until I tried to select them. So yeah, I wonder, you might actually be able to change the color of the modern bricks, because you can change the color of the roof after you place it and then click on it, so you might have to try the modern brick, or even the rough brick again, and just look at and see if you can move them. And then finally I realized that you can actually select walls after moving the one piece. I mean, like, that's not a big deal, but I actually didn't know that you could move all of those walls in one go. And then finally I just figured out how to work the moving tool and move them. Anyway, and I keep failing at selecting just the wall. But anyway, I do want you guys to tell me if you think this entrance actually looks good, if it doesn't look that good, and that was a lag spike. But if the entrance looks good, if it doesn't look good, if it looks kind of good. Basically, on a rating of 1 to 10, tell me what you think about it. But I don't know. I could actually just end the commentary right now and just have music in the background, but I mean, I'm already at 18 minutes out of 32, so might as well continue with no planned out thing of what to say. Wow. I really need to plan stuff more. Anyway, actually I have an idea on what I can say. Basically, you guys can decide where this park goes. So, within reason, tell me, like, how you want me to design the park. So, obviously I won't go, like, coaster happy and build, like, 30 coasters in the park. There will be limits. Maybe, like, I'm thinking a maximum of 4 different coasters. Oh, nah. That's too laxative. 5 different coasters. So yeah, you guys can tell me what types of coasters, or at least, I don't know. Oh gosh. But yeah, you guys can basically tell me, like, what type of themed lands you want to see in this park. So, pirate themed, western themed, sci-fi theme, which will be really difficult to do in this game because it doesn't have a lot of sci-fi themed stuff. But still, sci-fi theme, western theme, spooky theme I even think you can do, or as spooky as it was called in whatchamacallit, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. But Halloween-y theme, pirate theme, castle-y, fantasy theme, snow theme, a lot of different themes in this game. But yeah, one thing I do want to say about the series, I will be going over this really quick. Basically, every one of these videos, I'm going to not have a time-lapse. So basically, if there's going to be a lot of building, basically, where it would take, like, 3 parts, let me see, an hour and a half, so that would be, like, 3 parts, because I try to keep my videos, like, down to 30 minutes. So that would be, like, 3 parts, just building the entrance. So videos would like be split up into like 3 or 4 parts, just building like the same thing. I'm going to do time lapses, but videos where there's not going to be a lot of building and it's going to be more just like building a ride or like designing the park, so like there's going to be a mixture of time lapse and non-time lapse in this game, in this series. And yes, it is a series, and I will be completing this series. I'm determined. But yeah, as you can see here, I've actually gotten mostly to the end of this build now. Well, sort of. I still have a lot to go. But yeah, at this point I'm just working on the roof trims, and I cannot find the right roof trim, even though I just realized that I went right over it. Good job, me. I'm gonna have to change all of that before I do the next episode. Great. Because the trim right under the one that I used is the one that I wanted. So I'm going to have to change all of that before the next episode. And also, I actually am not sure where I'm supposed to put the trim. I realize now that I was putting all of the trim on the wrong part, because trim is supposed to stick out from the roof a little bit, just so that it's not a straight flat wall, I think. Kind of like a rain gutter on a roof, I guess. I don't know. You guys can tell me down in the comments, I know you will. But I know mostly what the trim is supposed to do, and I know that I'm building it completely and utterly wrong. And also failing miserably at placing it down, because it keeps turning, and sometimes, one of these times I even think I place it sideways to the roof, because logic. But I keep failing at leveling it up to the correct level, and I turned it around in a circle 4 times. Nice. But after this we get, like, I'm good at building in this game, decent at path design, good at building coasters, but very bad at doing scenery. So basically, like, trees and bushes and all that, I'm very bad at. Either I do too much or I do too little. I don't ever do, like, a decent amount that actually looks good. I just make it look terrible, or I just don't do it at all. So, yeah. But we are coming up on the 23-minute mark. And basically, after I finish this next lining here, I begin doing the bushes. And this is the part where you will see how bad I am at putting trees and bushes down. Well, actually, no, I do a sign first. Out of the millions of signs in this game, it takes me not actually that much time to find one. Well, I say that. Because I really wanted, like, a big sign to use over the central arch that basically just had, like, the name of the park. And also the sign can be changed when we do finally get a name for the park in the description down below. Not the description, in the comments down below. So I just want all of you guys to just comment in the comments down below on what you think. What should the name of the park be? I mean, like, there will always be down in the bottom left corner just Planet Park, because I ran out of ideas, so I just went with that. And we find actually this banner sign, which I actually kind of like. It actually grows on me the more that I look at it. Planet Park. And after that, I just fiddle around with the different fonts, trying to find one that looks good. I actually do like the one that I went with. But, nevertheless, 25 minutes. Wow. By the 25-minute mark, I finally actually get to doing something other than building. Well, actually, I'm still building, technically. Anyway, I do the one sign that has the name of the park, and that, of course, can change as we change when we finally get to changing the name of the park. Then also, because I like detail, I decide to put a little framework thing that looks like it's holding up the sign, even though, when I think about it now, the sign could just be, like, bolted on at the bottom of it, of the ribbons, and at the top, at the highest point that it can be, when I think about it now. And also that thing is kind of useless, because you can't even really see it. Yeah, let's just glance over that. And then I just, like, turn around the camera, come in at the other side, and put another sign on, because I've been to Disney way too many times. I put "See you soon." Because, why the heck not? And that's basically it for the building at this point. And I just, like, trying to get to the height of a person as much as possible. And, oh my gosh, the frame rate in this video is so bad. Yeah, I'll have to look into why that's like that. But I just get, like, to leveling the terrain back as far as I can, at least. Just so that, like, it looks better, just, like, so that it opens up quicker. I think it looks a little bit better by doing this. I don't know. And I fail at actually leveling out the terrain properly. And I don't even know how that works. And I just continuously hit the back button until I fix it. And I actually kind of like the look of this. I don't know, I just really think that this park entrance, like, this park already looks kind of good to me. And that's just from the entrance. And then I get to doing the lighting, so I just place in some of these street lights along the path. And I also just set the time to nighttime, just to make life easier. And that little planet coaster ball thing in that, like, spawn point for the people just looks creepy when you have it set to night. It just looks like a moon with a wolf in front of it. I don't know how I came up with that reference, or how I even see that. Just go with it. Just pay no attention to it. And I just looking around for lights until I finally settle on this, like, kind of, like, street lantern type thing ish, sort of. I kind of like the look of it. Anyway, finally, a bit more work has been completed, as now I'm just working on lighting up the interior of this building right now. I honestly don't, like, this is my view of looking on it. We're never going to be in here. I'm never going to zoom in here, so I don't need to detail it a lot. Kind of. But I just put down some of these lights, and you'll see in a minute how something that I'm going to have to fix. Because logic. So I'm using these slightly themed lights, and then instantly I just go back to the street lights, because logic. And then now I get to working on the bushes, finally. Bushes, trees, and all sorts. So I use a couple fir trees because I just needed something to take up a little bit of space. And I don't know, I actually kind of like it. Like, you can see the sign, it works. But now we are nearing the end. As you can see, I am just like placing in some of these bushes and trees and plants and stuff, because nearing the end, I guess. I don't know. And I'm just trying to use like some bigger plants and stuff, just like take up more space, so that, because by this point I was really trying to just be a little bit more on the side of just done with the intro. Not intro, with the entrance, because I really wanted to get to other stuff, but I decided, let's only do the entrance in this episode. Or part. I don't know if I'm going to make it episodes or parts yet. Same thing, basically, but still. And I basically, at this point, I was just finding anything that looked good, remotely decent, and placing it. Does this rose bush look decent here? Yes, place it. Does this tree look good here? Yes, place it. That's basically what I was doing. I didn't really care what it looked, and I placed a bush in the middle of a tree, of a lantern. Did I not fix it? Did I not? Okay, good, I did fix it. I was about to say, I could have sworn that I fixed that. And now I just set it over to daylight, and I begin fixing stuff. And by fixing stuff, I mean just placing more bushes. This is the part of the time-lapse that I could actually probably speed up even more when I think about it. I could probably just like cut the thing here and just speed this up to 300 times speed. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'd have to redo all of this audio. Actually, yes, I'd have to completely redo from start to finish audio. Right from the start of the video again. Not to say that I'm lazy, but I can't be bothered to do that. Because I want to get to recording like another 2 videos today. So, having to work on this video for most of the day is kind of forget it. It's just kind of productive. And I do not want to be anti-productive. So yeah, I just get back over into trees, and I don't know, I actually don't know why I placed the trees here. I just wanted to use more trees, so I just used any tree that I could find. Dang, those things are actually pretty big. This is the first time that I'm actually paying attention to those larger looking trees. But anyway, that is the end of this video, guys. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video, and as always, shine like a diamond.